Randy?
Yep. Hello, my name's Randy McCallum. Here, I'll get that. My name is Randy McCallum. I'm a director of the Chamber of Commerce volunteer, and I've heard a number of things about young people, terms like Facebook and everything. Yet when I look around here, I don't see too many young people in this crowd. And so the question for you on the council here, how are you going to get through to young people if you're encouraging small business development in this area? If the majority of the people, and I have done my homework on it, I've asked young people for the last 2 years, do they read the newspapers? The majority, over 90%, don't pick the paper up and read it. They go online, okay? And they will go online for information about things. And they are leaving town. A lot of them would like to come back. They need to come back or something. So my question to you is, how are you going to get through to young people? And if you're going to get through to young people, would you be willing to participate in forums online where these young people would be willing to participate?
At one point they talked to me about holding their own forum. Maybe that's next week, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from them since. But, you know, on the political end of things. And one of the things that we need to work with, I would be willing to participate online, within a forum if that's what they'd like. I don't have a problem with that. As far as attracting young people back to the area, that's one of the things we're also, as I mentioned earlier, the workforce renewal. It's also one of the targets we call the repatriation plan, because we like big words in government. But it's basically not just to attract back families that have moved away, but also those young people that have moved to Calgary to go to university and then taken a job there and that sort of thing, is to make them aware of what kind of jobs are available. We've also got to look at the affordability of housing, which we're doing. We need to continue to work on that because, I mean, let's face it, again, the 2% vacancy rate, most young people don't come into town and buy a house. They're limited income, and if they're working in Walmart or they're working, I mean, my God, I saw the other day McDonald's is offering benefits. There's a point of desperation with these employers that are, you know, in the lower end of the wage scale market. They're desperate to hire people. There's jobs here for them, and we also need to supply housing in some way. And I think that we have to take a look at how we deal with that. And there's a number of plans out there, and this committee's going to have to work with that.
Boy, I really don't know how to answer that question. I'm still trying to figure out how to communicate with my 2 sons. Attracting young people, and I'm assuming that your reference is to get them to come to the trail. The only thing that really comes to my mind there again is creating an economic climate, making it easier to start a business here. Communication, advertising, that's about the only thing I can come up with. I do not really have an answer to that question.
And I flip back to the point of this city being very attractive for families. We've held international tournaments in hockey, international tournaments in baseball, and regular provincial tournaments in swimming at the aquatic center, where I can only go on the attraction of what we have here. They need more doctors or specialists up here at the hospital, but it's very difficult to attract high-tech people to the area.
Thanks, Randy. I mean, where I work now, we have some young kids. They're 20 years old. To me now, that's really young. So it's good to see that young people are getting jobs even in our major industry. The other 2 things I want to mention is that the promotions committee has a youth component. There were 2 young girls from the Crow. They did surveys through the Crow. They put the results together and they present them to council with some recommendations, and council is looking at that right now. We do need feedback. We got feedback, and now we have to react on it and do some, and obviously an action plan. The other thing, I think the Trail website, even though it has won awards, but like anything on the internet and web pages, they're obsolete about 2 years after you put anything together. I think it's a great idea to put something like Facebook to get some interaction with the young people, maybe on the city website. And Randy, I'll give you a plug too. I know you're working on something, this like notebook for the regional area and trail, and I think that would be even a benefit for the citizens of Trail, the youth of Trail, and also the council of Trail. So those are some of the things I think we should work on.
That really is a tough question. I personally think of, how do we attract young people to our beautiful city and region? I personally think we go back to what we have to offer. We have a lifestyle that is fantastic. We have our technology around here, and Randy's a prime example of it, is wonderful. But I also think that we have to listen to them. We tend not to listen to young people, and I think we've got to listen to them more, and I think we have to take some of their advice. Like Randy said, we don't see any young people here, which is unfortunate, but somehow, and it's going to be a hard thing to do, we have to get them interested, obviously, in coming here for reasons, and I think even in the political realm, we have to get them interested in stepping forward, putting their foot forward to make a difference. I think all of them should make a difference in some ways. I mean, in the volunteer groups that I'm involved with, I don't think we listen to them enough. And to get them here is difficult, but we obviously have to have something for them to come here for. So in between all that, what I'm trying to say is I think listening is priority. And I think then, the jobs and I guess all those other things, what we all have obviously agreed on, will come next. Thanks.
Well, in my position with as teaching in Crow, I do listen to them. In fact, I deal with a number of groups. I deal with a leadership group. I deal with an interact group, a Rotary group, and I was promoting the Kiwanis extension into Crow. I also attended the youth forums and I just got the results from the youth forum and took a look at what they wanted. And I've actually been in direct contact, and I've got YCBC now in contact with Crow High, and we've got a committee that's going to be moving forward to produce a youth column, and not only a youth column in a newspaper, but a website for youth. I think technology is fine. I think you have to understand too, and I deal with these young people on a day-to-day basis, they need connection to adults. It's important to them, and that connection to adults is something that they seek out. Yes, they like Facebook, yes, they like to listen to music, but really that human connection is really, really important. And I try and I do that on a regular basis, even outside of my regular council duties, to make that direct connection to youth at all times, to listen to them and to respond to them and try to provide for their needs. I think one example would be Butler Park. That was something that they really wanted to see change a lot of the youth there, and that's something council acted on.
This whole new movement of green is going to provide opportunity for a lot of young people. It's very creative and almost magical, the new products that are coming out. These product designers aren't 60-year-olds, they're young people out of college. We need radiologists in Trail. And there's a program we're promoting to be established in Selkirk College, radiology training program. It's before the government now through advanced education and the Ministry of Industry. They both have agreed that when you train young people in young community or in smaller communities, they tend to stay. And those are high-paying jobs. Dieter alluded to, we have 96 strands of broadband in the ground, waiting for somebody to tap into them. Technology is the way of the future, and young people will fill that void. Thank you.
You listened to the candidates for City Council 2008 Trail BC, and if you missed the All Candidates Forum, why not be heard within the herd? In your online forums, you pay your taxes, or your parents or family pay their taxes. Why not discuss on how it is spent in the Greater Trail area. Finally, you have a safe place to voice your opinion, all from your home. What is GreaterTrail.com? A new resident-powered online network created for the citizens of the Greater Trail area to have their voice heard. We'll see whether the candidates will be true to their word and participate in the online forums. But you have the chance to make that happen. Visit www.greatertrail.com. Thank you.